Hey, let's tie a hare's ear today. This is an extremely popular pattern that works well in this area whenever you see mayflies. So it would be like spring and early summer. Here are the materials, and we're going to be using brown dubbing with some hair mask in it, along with black thread for the collar. And this is, again, an easy fly to tie. Tie your brown thread on the fly as a base. Wrap your tag around the thread, then wrap the thread from front to back about to where the tip of the point is on the fly, and then snip it. Okay, lay your tail fibers on top of the fly. Tie 2 or 3 loops on to tie it on, then go ahead and you can run your loops up to the front and then come back again. Next, tie your copper wire, and notice on this, and I'm going to leave it in there where it shows it moving around. If you don't hold your fingers on each side of the hook with the wire in the middle on top of the fly or the hook, it's going to roll around like you just saw. So be sure and do that. And the fly is going to move around and come out of the vise sometimes. Just lean it back up and click it back down, cinch it back down. So there we go, we got the wire on. Now it's time to tie the dubbing. Weten your finger or put a little bit of wax on your fingers between your index and thumb. Then wrap the dubbing around your thread. And as you notice, we're always going in the same direction with the thread and the material. So we'll wrap it on a little bit more. You don't want to put too much on each time because it'll just move around on you. But notice I am putting this dubbing on fairly loose because we're going to come back and prick some of the fibers out. So there we go. We'll put some more on there on the thread, wrap it around. We're going to make it a little thicker toward the head of the fly because that's where some little legs are going to be pricked out. And then I'll kind of pinch it down and roll it forward. Now it's time to wrap the ribbing around. It's the same direction as the thread. Wrap it loosely, and you'll do about 4, maybe 5 loops around, and then you'll wrap it around behind the head. And we have it loose so that we can prick those fibers out. Now we're going to take the slack out, wrap it around behind the head, around the tag again, and behind the head again. And we're going to snip the tag like usual. We'll snip it closely. And then we're going to do a quick whip knot there behind the head because we're going to switch to black for the thread. Do it a couple of times and you'll keep tension on as you're pulling that tool down and the thread pulling out. Snip the tag. Now, using the same base approach, we're going to wrap the black thread immediately behind the head. So we'll wrap the black thread around a couple of times, then the tag around the thread, and then wrap it around again. And then you'll see some got kind of held up in there. So what we'll do is just go ahead and cut those off. And you don't have to cut that out and retie it. It's still tight enough to stay on at this point because we're going to do some more loops on top of that. So now we'll clip the tag along with it. Okay, now we did our loops. We're going to do a quick whip finish. Okay, so that's why it doesn't really matter why we cut those other pieces off, because it got tightened back down then. We'll pull it tight. Now we'll trim the final tag off and trim up the other little pieces on the top and around to clean it up. We're trying to clean it or cut it close, but we also want to be careful that we don't cut the thread along with it. Finally, we're going to prick the fibers, a few fibers out of the bottom to kind of give it that buggy look. And there you go. That is a classic beadhead hare's ear tied on a tactical jig hook, and it works great.